There are moments in life when everything seems to unravel before our eyes. Dreams that once felt solid begin to crumble, and the things we held dear start to fade away. Relationships slip through our fingers, and our sense of self, once so clear, becomes clouded. Our health, our purpose, our very identity. Everything feels like it's slipping away. And in those moments of profound silence, we ask ourselves, what now? It's a question we've all faced at one point or another. The Buddha never promised us an easy life. He didn't say we wouldn't face hardship, but he did show us a way through the darkest of times. He offered a path, a way to walk through the storm with grace, with compassion, and with presence. And so, in these moments when you feel like you're drowning in the chaos, let's take a step together. Take a deep breath, be still, and let your mind quiet. Listen to what is being whispered by your heart. The first step the Buddha teaches us is to accept what is. When life shatters, our first instinct is often to resist it. We want to fight the pain, to push away the discomfort, to scream that this shouldn't be happening. But resistance, the Buddha tells us, only deepens our suffering. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. The pain is there, yes, but how we react to it, that's where we have a choice. When you resist, when you fight the current, you only exhaust yourself more. But when you stop fighting, when you surrender to the flow of life, you may find that the current carries you to calmer waters. Imagine yourself falling into a river. The more you struggle, the more you tire yourself. But if you stop, if you simply float for a moment, you will realize the river is carrying you forward. This is the power of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean we like what's happening, nor does it mean we condone it. It simply means that we are seeing things as they are, not how we wish them to be. It is the first step towards healing, the first quiet acknowledgement of what is. If your life feels like it's falling apart right now, let yourself say, this is what is. And in that moment, it's okay to feel whatever you feel. You don't have to fix everything today. All you have to do is be present with it. Just sit with it. The pain, the fear, the uncertainty, they don't need to be fixed. They just need to be felt and then allowed to pass. The second lesson the Buddha shares with us is that everything is impermanent. Everything. This perhaps is one of the most profound truths we can embrace in moments of suffering. When we're caught in the grip of pain or loss, it's easy to believe that it will never end, that the darkness will consume us and we'll never see the light again. But impermanence, the Buddha teaches, is the nature of all things. Nothing lasts forever, not even our suffering. No matter how deep the night may seem, the sun will rise again. Think about it for a moment. Reflect on the times you've endured hardships in the past, those moments when you thought you couldn't go on, when you were sure that the pain would never subside. And yet, here you are. You survived. You made it through. That feeling you had once, that overwhelming sorrow, that fear, it passed. And now looking back, it's a part of your story, but it doesn't define you anymore. Just like a storm that rages through the sky, it eventually clears, leaving the air fresh, leaving the world washed clean. Consider the flicker of a candle in a dark room. That small flame, no matter how fragile, has the power to shift the entire atmosphere of the space. It illuminates what was once hidden, casting light on the darkness. And so too does the light of change illuminate our lives. Hard times do not last forever. They may feel endless, but they will eventually fade away. What defines us is not the hardship itself, but how we choose to move through it. When everything feels overwhelming, remember this truth: this too shall pass. So when the storms of life seem unrelenting, let this thought anchor you. Nothing in life is permanent. This pain, this sorrow, this confusion, it is temporary. And just like the sun will rise again after the darkest night, you will find your way through this too. Let that truth be your guide, your reminder that no matter how deep the darkness feels, it will eventually give way to light. The third lesson the Buddha imparts is about letting go of attachment, particularly our attachment to control. Much of our suffering comes from our desire to hold on, to control, to manipulate the course of our lives. We cling to things, people, outcomes, and ideas of who we think we should be. But life, as the Buddha knew, is not meant to be controlled. It flows like a river winding through the land. When we try to cling to the rocks in the river, we only make the journey harder. The more we grasp, the more we suffer. In life's moments of upheaval, we often try to hold on even tighter. We grasp at certainty, at expectations, at the illusion that if we just control this one thing, everything will be okay. But control is an illusion. The more we try to control, the more we realize how little control we truly have. Life is unpredictable, and that unpredictability is what makes it so beautiful and full of potential. But we must trust that within this flow of life, there is wisdom and there is opportunity. The Buddha wisely said, "You only lose what you cling to." And how often have we clung to people, to outcomes, to our own image of ourselves, only to realize that it was this very attachment that caused our pain? It wasn't the loss that hurt, but the attachment to what we had hoped would stay forever. Letting go, the Buddha teaches, is not weakness. It's trust. It's trusting that something new can rise from the ashes. It's the recognition that in surrendering, we return to our truest self, the self that is free from the burden of constant control, the self that flows with the river instead of fighting it. So, ask yourself, what am I holding on to so tightly that it's causing me pain? What am I afraid to let go of? And when you ask these questions, trust that letting go does not mean losing yourself. In fact, it's the return to your authentic self. It's the return to a place of peace, of freedom, of clarity. And when you release your grip, you may find that the river carries you in a direction you never imagined, but one that brings you exactly where you need to be. The final lesson the Buddha offers is to return to the present moment. One of the greatest challenges we face when life falls apart is the restless mind. Our thoughts begin to spiral, taking us back to the past or racing ahead to an uncertain future. We replay old conversations, replay moments of regret, or imagine all the things that could go wrong tomorrow. Our minds become a battlefield of what-ifs and should-haves, and in the midst of it all, we forget the one place where true peace can be found, the present moment. Buddhist wisdom gently calls us back to the now, back to the breath, back to this very moment, because in the present, we are free. The past no longer holds its grip, and the future is not yet written. The present is the only place where we can heal, where we can act, and where we can breathe. Take a deep breath right now. Feel the air enter your lungs, filling your body, and then exhale, releasing the tension that's been holding on. You are not in yesterday. You are not yet in tomorrow. You are here, and here is where life unfolds. As the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "The present moment is the only moment available to us, and it is the door to all moments." No matter how chaotic the world may seem, the present moment offers us a doorway back to ourselves. Every breath you take, every step you make, brings you closer to the peace that resides within you. Even in the midst of chaos, even when life is crumbling around you, you always have access to this moment, this breath, this step, and from here, from this moment, everything becomes possible again. You have the power to shape your experience, not by fixing the past or fearing the future, but by fully inhabiting the present. It's in this space that you begin to heal, to grow, and to find the wisdom that lies beneath the surface of your pain. When life seems to fall apart, remember this: it is not the end. It is a new beginning. It's a chance to see yourself more clearly, to grow, not in spite of the pain, but through it. The Buddha never asked us to be perfect. He asked us to be present. He asked us to be kind to ourselves. He asked us to keep walking, even when the path is unclear, even when the steps are trembling. So, if you're hurting right now, know this: you are not alone. You are not broken. You are becoming. The pain you feel is not the end of your story, but the beginning of something deeper, something more meaningful. And together, we can walk this path of wisdom, one breath at a time. The final and perhaps most transformative lesson the Buddha imparts to us is the power of returning to the present moment. When life feels like it is falling apart, it's easy for our minds to become overwhelmed by past regrets and future worries. We replay painful memories in our minds, revisiting moments we can't change, and we begin to worry endlessly about what lies ahead, how things might unfold, what could go wrong, and how we might fail. It's a constant cycle of mental noise, and in the midst of it all, we forget the one place where true peace resides, the present moment. Buddhist wisdom, however, invites us to step out of this chaotic mental space and return to the now. It's easy to get lost in the stories our minds tell us about the past or the future, but the only real moment we have is this one. The present is where healing happens, where we can make choices, and where we have the ability to create change. And yet, despite its simplicity, returning to the present moment can often feel like one of the hardest things to do, especially when life is filled with uncertainty and pain. Take a deep breath right now wherever you are. Inhale deeply and feel the air filling your lungs, bringing with it a sense of life and vitality. Then exhale, slowly and deliberately, releasing the tension and heaviness you may be carrying. Notice how your body feels. Notice the sounds around you, the sights, the smells, the sensations. In this very moment, nothing else exists but you and your breath. You are not in yesterday, and you are not yet in tomorrow. You are here right now, and this moment is all that matters. Thich Nhat Hanh, one of the greatest Buddhist teachers of our time, beautifully expressed this truth when he said, "The present moment is the only moment available to us, and it is the door to all moments." When life feels overwhelming, we often forget that the present moment is always available to us. We can step into it at any time, no matter how chaotic our minds may be. And in that moment of awareness, we are granted the gift of peace. The past can no longer reach us, and the future is yet to unfold. The only thing we truly have is now. The present moment is where we find the freedom to heal. It is where we begin to release the weight of what has been and what may come. In this moment, there is no need to change anything, fix anything, or solve anything. Just for this breath, this step, simply be here. Feel the air in your lungs. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the ground beneath your feet. That is enough. Even in the darkest moments, when it feels like the world is caving in, the present moment offers a refuge. It offers the opportunity to pause, to breathe, and to find a sense of groundedness. Life doesn't stop, but in the present, we can slow down enough to feel the beauty of what's right in front of us. Whether it's the sensation of the air on your skin, the warmth of sunlight, or the sound of birds in the distance, there is always something to remind us of the vastness and the simplicity of life. And through this awareness, we begin to connect to something greater than ourselves, something eternal that transcends the turbulence of life. It's important to remember that being present doesn't mean ignoring the challenges we face. It doesn't mean pretending that everything is okay when it's not. It simply means that for this moment, we allow ourselves to exist without judgment, without clinging to the past or fearing the future. We accept what is right now and let the world unfold as it will. In this space, there is clarity, there is wisdom, there is a deep sense of peace that can only be found when we release the need to control everything and simply allow life to flow. In Buddhist practice, mindfulness is the key to staying anchored in the present. It's the practice of being fully awake, fully aware of each moment as it unfolds. And when life feels overwhelming, mindfulness can be our anchor, keeping us grounded even as the waves of emotion and difficulty crash around us. Through mindfulness, we begin to see that we are not our thoughts, nor are we our pain. We are the observer of these things. We are the space in which they arise and dissolve. And in this space, we find freedom. As we return to the present moment, we begin to see life with fresh eyes. We start to notice things we might have missed before, the way the light filters through the trees, the way our loved ones laugh, the way our own heart beats in rhythm with the world around us. The present moment offers us the gift of connection to ourselves, to others, and to the world. It's in these moments of connection that we find our truest selves. When life falls apart, it is not the end. It is not a signal that everything is lost. Instead, it is the beginning of something new. It is a chance to start fresh, to see ourselves more clearly, and to grow, not in spite of the pain, but through it. The Buddha never asked us to be perfect. He simply asked us to be present, to be kind to ourselves, and to keep walking, even when the path is unclear, even when the steps feel unsure. So if you're hurting right now, please hear this. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are becoming. Every challenge, every tear, Every struggle is a part of your story, a part of the unfolding journey that is your life. And as you walk this path step by step, breath by breath, you will find that you are not defined by your pain. You are defined by how you respond to it, by how you rise, how you keep walking, how you keep breathing, and how you keep loving. Remember this: you are enough, you are whole. You are worthy of peace, of healing, and of love. And together, with every breath we take, we will walk this path of wisdom, one step, one breath, one moment at a time.